Hi, I'm Carl Shannon with Tishman Speyer, and we are just thrilled to have all of you here today. Um, I get to open a lot of buildings and do a lot of this sort of thing, but none of them brings me more pleasure than what we get to do today. This is 190 units of affordable housing in the heart of San Francisco, near jobs, near transit, in the middle of what is one of the worst housing crises we've ever seen. And to see this project come to reality, having done this and funded this with Tishman Speyer, it brings me such pride. But it is a huge public-private partnership. This deal dates back to Jane Kim's predecessor, Chris Daly, and I sitting in Halloween Day 2003 in his office talking about what level of affordability we would need to do for what is now Infinity and Lumina. And that deal 12 years ago has finally given rise to this project and to the two that we did at Infinity, close to 400 units of affordable housing that we've done among those three sites. So I am grateful to the supervisor, to the supervisor's predecessor, grateful to the mayor and the mayor's predecessor for the public and private partnership to make this happen. I'm grateful to the Mayor's Office of Housing, who has done all the logistics and everything to make this come together. And almost most importantly, I'm thankful to Don Falk and TNDC, who controlled this site and had the vision and work with us. This is really their product, their housing. We are thrilled to be partners with TNDC. I'm grateful to Ulico, our lender, the Union Labor Life Company, who saw that putting money into this project would help not only provide housing but jobs in San Francisco. We're grateful to Steve Perry and Swinerton. This is a huge public-private partnership to make all this happen. But you didn't come here today to hear from me. When we got a call about a week ago that said, could we pull the agenda for this forward a week? I really hadn't put two and two together what a wonderful morning this would be to be able to open 190 units of affordable housing on the dawn of the mayor's reelection, but much more importantly, the passing of Prop A and the commitment to the housing bond in San Francisco. So congratulations to everyone. It is with great pleasure that I get to introduce Mayor Ed Lee, who's helped make all of this happen. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Carl. Well, the campaign's over. We're going right to work. And I am also grateful, Carl, to you, to Tishman Speyer, to your relationship with TNDC, to your work with Supervisor Kim and our office in making this happen. I was here already months ago looking at some of the units and visualizing what some of our residents, our new residents, are going to see for a long, long time. So I'm glad they're here with us as well. This is exactly the stories that we are chasing when we said, let's get a proposition up before the voters and get a $310 million, which, by the way, will be matched by an additional $25 million from our budget, thanks to the Board of Supervisors and us agreeing on a higher goal. And we know that this is part of the answer, but we're already, with this housing bond, we're already locating nonprofit partners for more housing. We are using the word, Carl, something that you and your investors know about. It's about investment, and it's about leveraging. And this was a parking lot that we invested in, and now we're leveraging it for the rest of the residents. 190 brand new units, all 100% affordable, is an incredible story. And I told Don earlier that he's the only one that can probably tell the storied history of this particular site, how many hands it went through, how many relationships had to be built, and how many trust factors had to be created in order for today to happen. It's complicated, so I'm going to let Don tell that story. But only those community-based agencies that have been around a long, long time can live to tell these stories, and I'm glad he's with us. I'm also glad that not only do we have this particular site to celebrate, but it is on the dawn of celebrating more. And we're going to have a lot more keys given out to a lot of people that need housing in the city. our workforce, the talent that is really a great part of our success, whether they're teachers, and I know at least one teacher got in on an incredible lottery that she had to win in order to get in. But hopefully there's more teachers, more healthcare workers, people that work in restaurants and hotels that make a good living, but are finding it very difficult to live in our city. This is what the housing bond is created to do. But also, as part of this, this is what the private sector is doing more and more with us in government, is trying to match up what they can do with us. So that you can literally see that people who are in the business of building housing, whether they're the market rate housing or low-income housing, can find that connection with government, that we can be supportive of this to make sure more units are affordable. The obligation here started with about 163 units, but somehow, in some way, that story and that relationship was so solid with city government that we increased it to 190 units. That's what we all want to do, Supervisor Kim, is that right? Mm-hmm. We want to always set a goal and then see how we can creatively exceed it. And this is what I think the incredible story is all about. We're going to do that with many sites in San Francisco, certainly with the passage of Prop K yesterday and our joint efforts to locate all public lands. We're going to do that. We've already got private sites, and some of the developers are literally calling us up and say, what can we do together? That hadn't happened before. Now the message is being sent very clearly. You can do more. We can all be more successful for our residents if we all work together. That's the message of our Proposition A, Proposition K, our incredible relationships with our private sector developers, and certainly with our community-based nonprofits. I am looking forward to not only handing out keys, but to poke my head in the rooms that people will be so happy to receive. And then having this incredible courtyard right here is already kind of a very positive experience right in the middle of San Francisco's center. And we have a number of sites within 2 or 3 block radius that are also going to be underdeveloped in the next few years. That'll also signal an incredible amount of affordable housing that a lot of people will say is great, because this is very close to good transit systems. It's going to be close to our Civic Center Park that we're reinvesting in. It's going to be center of a lot of good activities that people want to be close to as they want to live here, and certainly the closeness to all of our incredible arts organizations that continue to lead the effort along mid-market to help us. So there's a lot of great news to share, and I'm glad to see our Office of Community Investment and Infrastructure is here with our Mayor's Office of Housing, our Department of Building Inspection, because we are already talking not just about the sites that we're going to do housing on. We've already got ideas going as to how to accelerate them. We've got an accelerator fund. Maybe I can talk to your equity partners, Carl, about acceleration fund, so that we can accelerate all the goals that we want, because I know that our labor folks don't have enough to do. They want more work, right, Mrs. Michael? They want more work to do, and they want to do it the right way, and they want to get this housing up, because it's actually for their workforce as well. So again, I want to say thank you to everybody, all the partnerships that we've had here. Let's keep doing this, and more than celebrate, let's go to work and get more done and have more smiles on families that are coming here. Thank you. Supervisor Kim.
Well, first of all, I just want to give a big congratulations to our mayor for winning a victorious re-election to 4 more years. We have not had a mayor that has been such a leader on affordable housing and housing here in San Francisco, and it has been such an honor to work with him. In this district in particular, where we are seeing close to 80% of all of San Francisco's development. But the statistic that I'm most proud of is that District 6 is building 54% of all of San Francisco's affordable housing. And that would not be possible if not for, first of all, the very strong support of our mayor. working with us to push the envelope, both working with our nonprofit institutions, but also our private developers who know how important it is to house everyone here in the city. But also, I want to recognize that we do have a strong institution of community-based organizations and advocates here in this district that have been fighting for affordable housing for decades. And Tenderloin Neighborhood Development Corporation is one of them. And I just really want to acknowledge their work and Don Fox's leadership in building more affordable housing. And we have several more sites to go. I am very excited about Taylor and Eddy and Mission between 6th and 7th, and of course, Howard and 5th. TNDC had the forethought to land bank so that when the revenue and the opportunities came forward that we could build affordable housing in a city where land is incredibly scarce. What has been really exciting for me, actually, I want to share a story, is that in August, I started interviewing youth commissioners. I had 3 applicants. And what was most astounding is that each of those 3 applicants were recipients of our affordable housing program. One lived in Cannon Barkus in my district, managed by ECS. A second was in housing that was managed by Larkin Street Services. And the third family had just won housing here at 1400 Mission, and a Tenderloin resident. And it is moments like that when you realize how worth it this work is. It always feels like we're not building enough, but when you meet the youth and the families that get to live here in the neighborhood because we have built this affordable housing, those are the most incredible moments. And I'm so excited to welcome our newest residents to the South of Market, and I really look forward to representing and serving you. Finally, I just also want to give a big shout out and really thank the city for their support for building more affordable housing. It has been almost 20 years since we last passed an affordable housing bond in 1996 for $100 million. And last night, we passed a bond for $350 million. And that is going to have a tremendous impact, not just in the district that I represent, but throughout the city. And we have a lot to do, You know, when I came into office, we were building roughly at 80% of low-income household needs, which is good, but we got to do better, and we got to keep up those efforts. But, we were only building at less than 12% of middle-income need. And that is why this project is so important. We have to continue to build the low-income and affordable housing, but we must build more middle-income housing here in San Francisco in order to keep a diverse San Francisco. And so whether it is going to be on Seawall Lot 337 with our giants here on this site, or with future projects, I really look forward to making sure that we are doing the balance that we need to see. Thank you very much, and congratulations to everyone involved.
Thank you, Supervisor Kim. I'm Don Falk, CEO of Tenderloin Neighborhood Development Corporation, TNDC, and I am just thrilled and filled with gratitude. These kinds of projects take casts of hundreds, if not thousands, and I especially want to recognize our partners, Mayor Lee, Supervisor Kim, the Mayor's Office of Housing, Tishman, Speyer, and hundreds of others who I'm omitting. And we just are part of the process, and these don't happen without a big collection of people. The story of this site begins in 1998. And so, if nothing else, this is a story of perseverance. Bank of America owned a parking lot, and the purpose of the parking lot was because they were going to eventually need to expand the data center, which is right next door. They were going to need more computers as they were growing as a business. Well, it turns out that because of the rapid growth of technology, computers don't require more space, they need less space. And so they declared it surplus land, and they agreed to a proposal from TNDC and our partner at the time, Citizens Housing, to sell the property to us in a bargain sale at below its market value in order for us to try to build affordable housing. It is 17 years later, so it has been a very arduous and difficult process through maybe 2 busts and recessions and the dearth of affordable housing resources that are available from the state and the federal government. There are many challenges to overcome to produce housing like this. And I think it's important for me to say, and for us all to understand, this is not merely affordable housing. These are not merely dwelling units. These are homes. And home is the platform for opportunity for people. If people have affordable homes, they don't have to make the awful choice between paying the rent and medical care, paying the rent and education, paying the rent and taking care of their children. And so when we provide affordable housing, we do much more than offer people four walls and a ceiling. So thank you all very much for being here, and I will turn it over to the next person. Thanks.
You know, we have 2 units that are open for anybody who wants to go in and see the units. What else am I supposed to say, Gary?
Well, we're going to get some photos just with the mayor and you and Don in residence.
Okay.
So we'll do that first. And there's coffee and
But we thank everybody for coming. This is a great public partnership. So thank you to everybody for working together to make this happen. Congratulations.